Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every damn dirty minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. I am Todd. I've got Richard and Sean with me. Hello, Richard and Sean.
Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday.
It is Thursday. We are heading towards the weekend.
Yeah.
Close, yeah.
So, Sean, what have you got?
We're minute 109. It's going to start with Zaya saying, I may have just have saved it for you, and ends with Taylor and Nova riding up the beach. And we've still got our 2 living humans, 2 confirmed dead, 1 dead ape, a shrewdness of apes, and a gaggle of humans.
I think the worst thing that I've ever heard out of your mouth, Sean, in how many years of friendship?
20, more than 20.
Approaching 30.
Something like 25 at
So
least.
the worst things I've ever heard of your mouth are Taylor and Nova on horseback riding up a beach. Because that just says we're about to go into more slow-ass shit. But until we get there...
We got a little bit to talk about.
We're at least into one of my favorite lines of the film, and when we get there, I'm going to just cheer.
Let me just rewind just a little bit. In the last minute, when Cornelius is dragged off after, Zaya says, what I do with no pleasure, silence him, and Cornelius is dragged off, I forgot to mention that Zaius actually grabs Zira by the arm and pulls her towards him. And he doesn't grab her by the hand. He actually physically grabs her by the arm and pulls her.
It's almost like Taylor did to Nova earlier.
And that's when Lucius utters his line, right? Dr. Zaius is inexcusable, wanting this knowledge and spill. What about the future? But he's literally pulled her to him. And I didn't really understand what that was for. Now, she does deliver the opening line kind of for this. Not the opening. She delivers the second line in this minute. Mm-hmm. And maybe that was just to get her close to him. But
maybe it's the domineering Donald Trump handshake where he takes you and pulls you in. That's kind of how I read that moment. Literally,
move.
It is the power move. I think he pulls her in to kind of go, oh.
Well, okay, so let's finish the Lucius Zaius interaction, and then we can talk about what I want to talk about.
Yeah, because there's a beat in here that I get frustrated with that they do in writing.
Okay.
So Lucius finishes the last minute saying, "What about the future?" And Zaius says, "I may have just saved it for you." Right?
And then he says...
Wait, hang on. Could you say that one more time? Because I really do love your Zaius voice.
I may have just saved it for you.
I'm going to make that my ringtone.
Now
anytime
he's
he calls you.
Now he's yanked Zira to him, right? Yanked Zira to his side, which is why she then says, what will he find out there, Doctor?
Yes, and this is where I get into the stuff I hate, how they write like this.
There's like, his destiny.
That is just... Because then I want a beat, and then to hear... Yeah, but what will he actually find? And then hear him go, his answers. And then you get another beat. It's like, you dude, just tell me. What the fuck is out there?
Okay, but of all the lines in the film, it's a madhouse. Get your paws off me, you damn dirty ape. I will always love his destiny. It is so ominous, and I love it.
His density.
And I did think that. I was like, how George McFly in that moment, his density.
It's just... So, Zaius has just resigned himself to letting Taylor go out there and discover
find out what
how awful, terrible mankind is.
Right.
I just love this, dude. I want to shut him down. I'm going to do all these terrible things. I want to find out about his tribe. Mm-hmm. I want to have him, neutered and everything else. And now he's like, bye.
Bye,
he microphone drops on him. Boom.
I know, yeah.
Bye,
Go out there. You're going to be so disappointed. Yeah, it was really...
At this point, he can't control him, and he wants nothing but a broken-hearted Taylor.
Yeah, he wants him to be.
He just pulled that Powers Booth from Tombstones where he's just sitting there and watching everybody leave. He just, bye.
He wants him to recognize how awful man is.
Right. Well, he's lived under that shadow of impending doom that when man comes along, he's seen what is out there. He's seen what's in the forbidden zone. He knows that there is man that is smart enough to erect statues in its honor.
And then destroy them somehow.
And destroy them. He's lived in fear. And at this point, he can't control it. He wants to destroy it. And so he sends it. Their own fate is going to destroy the man that he fears so much. I mean, what else can you do? you have an ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it may be. You want them to hurt too. That's what Zaius is at this point. He and Taylor are breaking up.
I hadn't thought about that.
He's sending him out there. Go on, bitch.
I'm keeping your records too. They're mine now.
Yeah. He's just like, I think he realizes there's nothing that his days of rations and his woman, he's not fearful of Taylor repopulating. He's like, just go out there and face the brutality of man.
I mean, but isn't that the penultimate thing that you want of anyone when you have a confrontation is
for them to eat shit
before they face the rest of their life, to face their own frailty, to face their own, you know what, you're not as great as you think you are. You've got a lot of living probably left to do, and he knows that Taylor's going to go out there and he's going to find a desert, whatever it may be, and there's going to be beyond the Statue of Liberty, but he's going to be so destructed that whatever he finds beyond that is done.
So, I guess at this point, Zaius has given up that Taylor is from another tribe on the other side of something in a jungle.
Maybe.
He thinks he's the only one. He's finally got.
Well, him and Landon. I mean,
does he acknowledge he's from another planet at this point, do you think? Or that somehow he had a time warp and came back to his own planet?
I don't know what he thinks about. I don't know what Zaius thinks about where
his origins
Taylor came from necessarily. But I think he's resigned that he is the only mutant. He calls him a mutant. I think he's not afraid of another tribe because Taylor is clearly letting him know that he's by himself.
I don't know anybody else.
Right, exactly.
I'm not trying to go get my smart army to come over here. I'm trying to get away from you.
He's ignorant because Taylor's so ignorant about what happened to man.
If Taylor went to Xavier's school for gifted children, what would his mutant name be?
Dummy. Hey, dummy, come here. What? What do you want me to do? I'm Taylor.
They're always named for their powers. Right?
If he's the power of stupidity.
Yeah.
We're going to rule this school in 6 months since everybody here is this stupid.
It's the years of listening to. The only way I knew mutant was through X-Men. I'd never heard it, and even though I'd seen this film 1,000 times, I never paid attention to it until we did this. But now that's all I hear every time. Is I kind of see Deadpool and Wolverine standing next to him. And, huh?
Hey guys.
Hey, let's go get him.
What? So they round the bend, and we kind of get a sense of a little bit of a rocky shore. As the horse kind of wades through the water around the bend.
Yeah, and we're back into
where we get a little bit of reeds, and then we're giving some sense of distance.
Yeah, they put a camera on a cliff and just zoomed out as far as they could to follow them across.
Yeah,
and then we see them.
And we get the music going again.
We see them kind of move along a beach for a little bit, and they're
nice vistas with the waves rolling in, a little bit of the sun hitting the water out there.
Right, and they're going back and forth from from galloping to kind of not
a trot or
whatever. Sauntering. And then we get 40 seconds into this minute is when we actually get the destruction of the cave.
And this is when, oh my God, you maniacs! You blew it up! Damn you! Wait, what?
It's not the cave. They're not upset about the cave. No, it's not on. Hang on. I know you know the pop beat. It's not that one.
Not this one. Oh, shucks.
So two gorillas kind of on horseback kind of ride away from the entrance of the cave. And they move back to Zaius.
Mm-hmm.
Cornelius is not there. They literally took Cornelius away.
Oh, he's already gone.
They cuckolded him. They sold him off to somebody and made him into a complete
bitch. When we get into this, because I sat there and looked at that scene over and over again and counted.
Mm-hmm.
I see Zira, and I see another gorilla or another chimpanzee that I assume is Lucius, because they took him away.
Well, from what I understand, not having seen any of the other movies, I'm assuming that after this scene, that Cornelius, Zira, and Dr. Zaius are never seen again, right? In any other movie. They are never seen again, right? This is the end of them.
I'm not answering that question, Sean.
You can't answer that question, Sean.
So, we were talking about that, and I'm thinking about Cornelius, and I had a question. God, I hate that. Damn it, I had a good question.
So, when he says silence him and they drag Cornelius off, and then we have another scene with Zira and Lucius talking to Zaius before Zaius tells them we're going to blow up the cave.
Right.
When we get to the shot of the cave actually blowing up, and they have a pan back, and you see the two gorillas kind of riding from the cave, and then you see a gathering of everybody else. there are only 2 chimps in that shot. And I assume it is still Zira
and Julius.
And Lucius.
Or Lucius, sorry.
Yeah.
So
where is he?
What does that say about the fate of Cornelius specifically versus the fate of Zira?
He's dead.
I don't
No, I mean, Zaya said they were going to be both tried for heresy.
Yeah,
and
but
they blow
sure
up the
did-
cave. Why is he afraid of Cornelius so much?
Well, he's the archaeologist. He's the one that has. She's the psychologist. He's the one that has the information from.
He's got-
time.
Zaius wants Zira.
There you
Let's
go.
talk about it. They want their monograms
Zaius,
on their
Dr.
towels
Zira.
to be Z and Z, and that's all he wants.
I would be walking away from this minute thinking that Cornelius is done for.
Yeah.
That Cornelius is going to get hanged. That there's going to be no Cornelius left. And that Zira somehow is safe because he's not treating her like a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
And remember, Lucius wasn't up in the cave either. So he hasn't seen any of the evidence.
Yeah,
Now she
remember,
has,
Poor
but he hasn't.
Lucius. Poor Lucius. Taylor told him at some point he was going to go get to see the cave, and then they blew it up right in front of him.
Why didn't we cut to him going, God, man?
Hey, future, how am I supposed to find out about you if I can't learn about the past? Boo-hoo.
So what I did think of, I remembered what I wanted to say in that shot when we see the cave blow up, and you talked about film language that bothers you, where it's what will he find? Visually, one of my least favorite film languages in the world is explosion, cut to a tighter shot, explosion happens again.
Again.
We have a language where we have to see the explosion 3 and 4 times, and it's almost why when you start seeing films of like the 70s, you know, that Coppola and Scorsese and all them made, where it became that second golden era, they went back to a true language of, if you saw explosion, you might cut to a higher shot where
But you
saw
didn't
the
need to
smoke.
have the exact explosion happen again.
Right.
The origin of the explosion.
It drives me absolutely every time I see a movie. And it is one of my Achilles heels. I completely am taken out of the movie. And as soon as I was watching this, I thought, oh, boom, 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 boom. I don't understand that. But but then again, I do. You're going to pay for the money to explode it.
You're gonna get your money's worth of those 2 seconds.
I'd be interested to go back in film history and know what film editor realized, hey, what we could do is cut to it 3 and 4 times, boom, boom, boom.
Get our money's
But
worth.
do one explosion sound.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting little bit of film language.
Speaking of sounds and film language, and this scene when Taylor and Nova are riding on the horse, I swear to God, is this the music that plays during the menu scene on the Blu-ray every time you put it in?
It is, as a matter of fact.
I was like, well, oh my God, I have to hit play. Wait,
It's
I'm
like
sorry.
Buddy-do.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I did not even notice that. Wow.
I've heard it so many times on the menu. I'm finally like, wait, now I know where that is.
It's funny because I wrote a note here, and I swear to you, I thought this. My music theory teacher would have been so mad at me because there was an actual actual term to. You have the melody line and the call and response that's beneath it.
Uh-huh.
And I can't remember that call and response. I sat making the notes. I'm like, I can't remember. But Goldsmith saves the moment because in all this, in this minute and the coming minute, he's the only thing that even makes you somewhat interested in the banality of this.
You know what I just thought about
Riding
right
shot,
now?
riding shot, riding shot.
The music with the wah, 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 wah. Did they steal that later for simply having a wonderful Christmas time? Wah, 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 wah.
Yes. It's pretty much.
All right, real quick, Richard, play the movie. There's a shot that Nova like awkwardly grabs for her throat that I didn't understand what was going on there. I think it was Nova.
Hang on 1 second.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's why. I just
Is
put
this before they ride off or while they're riding
What's
off?
before there? There's also a shot later that has a green area on the horizon that looks like a bad matte painting. I didn't know if that was supposed to stand out too. I didn't know if that was like a area that we're supposed to be paying attention to, or just the way.
This is what I get for watching this
that's-
film on a laptop.
Yeah, see, I'm watching it
a
on
big
a big
TV.
TV.
It's going to take me just a second because I'm
Okay.
using my phone to actually scrub the video,
Yeah.
and we're a minute behind. So talk about something else. So do we get to the green moment in this minute?
Yeah, it'll be in this minute. It's
Okay,
like
well,
almost towards the end.
Well, then we can actually talk about what I wanted to talk about
Last minute.
last minute or the minute before when we asked whether it was a forbidden zone or not. Okay, so the script specifically says a verdant forest atop a distant palisade. Their view of the beach below the forest is cut off by rocky promontory in the middle distance. So that
so maybe
green
that
was
is-
very intentional.
Okay.
He is supposed to now seeing that he has ended or left
the forbidden
zone. That was intentional.
Okay.